All right, today we're jumping into a story that is part dark fantasy and part, well, intense philosophical smackdown. It's all about a duel that's not fought with swords, but with ideas, in a place that's not even real. This is a battle for the very meaning of existence itself. Let's get into it.
So let me start by asking you a question, a really fundamental one. How do you prove you exist? And forget, I think, therefore I am. What if you had to prove it to a universe that was actively telling you you don't? How would you even begin to do that? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we meet our hero.
This is the Magessa. Now, after she's finished dropping her wisdom, she doesn't just ascend to the heavens or vanish in a puff of smoke. Nope, she turns around and starts walking backward, completely on purpose, right into a giant abyss. You've got to understand, this isn't her running away. This is a confrontation. She's stepping into the void to face opposition itself.
So what is this abyss really? It's not just a big, empty hole in the ground. In this world, it's a metaphysical battleground, a place where the very rules of reality get written and rewritten.
This abyss actually has a name, and it's a bit of a head-scratcher from philosophy. It's called the Not I. Basically, the Not I is everything in the entire universe that is not you. It's the objective world. And here's the twist. In this story, the Not I isn't just neutral. It's hostile. It's this crushing force that is actively trying to erase you and your individual will.
But see, this Not I isn't just a passive void. It actually has a really important job. It acts as the Anstoß, which is a fancy German term for a check or a barrier. The whole idea is that you can only really know yourself, your I, when you slam into something that is not you. It's like you don't know you have muscles until you push against something heavy, right? You need that resistance to even realize you exist.
So as the Magessa steps into this void, the Not I starts to take a very specific shape. It becomes a reflection of the one thing she fought against her whole life, the maleficracy, this rigid, oppressive social order. But here, it doesn't have a human face. It's just pure, raw, oppressive power.
And this is where the duel really begins. Because the abyss, this embodiment of everything that isn't her, suddenly finds a voice, and it starts to challenge her, right then and there.
The abyss just lays it all out. It says, I'm the end of the road, the final wall. You want to get past me? Then you have to submit. It's presenting itself as this absolute, unchangeable law of the universe, and it's demanding that she just give up.
And here comes its most powerful, most brutal attack. It tells her she doesn't actually have a self, that she's nothing more than a reaction. It claims she's only defined by what she's against. She's the not maleficracy. The implication is terrifying. If that oppressive system didn't exist, neither would she. It's a total denial of her entire identity.
But the Magessa is not about to be defined by her enemy, and her response isn't some defensive argument. No, it's a radical, powerful act of will that just flips this whole fight on its head.
I mean, what a comeback. This is a total game changer. She says, you've got this all wrong. I'm not trying to get past you. I created you. I put you here. She's claiming that she, as the absolute I, willed this entire obstacle into existence for the sole purpose of having something to conquer. That wall isn't a prison, it's a piece of gym equipment she built for herself.
This chart really nails the core conflict here. It's two completely opposite worldviews clashing. The abyss is all about limitation. You are a reaction, you're defined by your past, you have no real self. But the Magessa's view is all about creation. I am the original action. I create my own challenges, I define my own being. So the question becomes, is she a product of her world or its creator?
So, okay, how does she actually pull this off? How does she make that incredible claim a reality? Well, she performs this mental feat called willing backwards, and it's a way to conquer not just this abyss, but the entire weight of history itself.
It's basically a three-step process. First, you have to look your past right in the eye. All the unchangeable facts, all the history, everything that seems to define you, the it was. Second, instead of fighting it, you absorb it. You swallow the not I, making that obstacle a part of you. And then, the final incredible move. You declare, thus I willed it. You reframe everything that ever happened to you as something you chose.
And this is the absolute peak of her argument. She isn't denying the darkness, she's not pretending the past didn't happen, she's claiming total, absolute ownership over it. By saying she willed it,
She transforms herself from a victim of history into the author of her own story. It's the ultimate act of self-creation.
Now, this philosophical victory isn't just something that happens in her head. It's about to have a very real and very violent effect on the abyss all around her.
And this brings us right back to that question from the beginning. How do you prove you exist? Her answer is crystal clear. You prove it by destroying the very limit that you yourself set up. Existence, for her, isn't proven by thinking. It's proven by doing, by shattering the obstacle she chose to face. And with a single motion, she strikes. And the entire abyss, this huge oppressive void, it just shatters like a cheap mirror, revealing that its reflection of her was nothing but an illusion all along.
The aftermath here tells you everything. The darkness breaks. The oppressive system of the malafalacracy is exposed as being completely hollow, an empty shell. And it proves a huge point. A rigid, deterministic system, no matter how powerful it seems, just can't stand up against a single creative will that refuses to be defined by it.
So, the duel is won. The abyss is destroyed, the Megissa is transformed, and because of that, the world around her is about to change too. I mean, just think about this image for a second. It's so powerful. The very thing that was her barrier, the not I, is now shattered and repurposed into the very path she walks on. The broken pieces of her greatest obstacle are literally paving her way forward. She has built her future out of her past limitations.
And her final words aren't about her own victory. They're about what's next. She's talking about the child, a symbol for a new way of being, one of pure creation, without the baggage of the past. Her entire epic battle in the dark, it was all to clear the board, to wipe the slate clean, to make way for something completely new to begin.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The Megissa took the ultimate obstacle, the negation of her entire existence, and turned it into her foundation. So what about us? If we could pull off that same incredible act of will and transform the barriers in our own lives into the path we walk on, just imagine for a second, where would that path lead?